And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem in the Crypto, episode 965. Today is Wednesday, June 8th, 2022, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today is definitely a 10ish day. Today's top stories: PayPal enables transfer of digital currencies to external wallets. Binance fires back at Reuters money laundering allegations. Crypto bank Custodia sues the Fed over 19-month delay on account approval, and major South Korean crypto exchanges delist Litecoin. But first and foremost, of course, we're going to take a quick look at those prices as I bring up the chat in the video and the prices all at the same time. Bear with me. And really quick, want to give a shout out to our own very crypto warrior, Antonio. Shout out to Tonio from the UK. Now, of course, holding it down in Bali for the new swag. It's a new tops and bottoms. Yes, that's right. The hose, tracksuit, sweatsuit, wherever you want to call it. Bitcoin out. So shout out to Antonio. He should be having a store available soon if you all want to get some of that cool crypto gear from him. And of course, last night, Stack released a video late last night. If you haven't already, make sure you check that out. It was a great show last night. They started getting into the in-depth part of the geopolitical structure of Bitcoin, so make sure you check that out. All right, and now for the prices coming in hot. Bitcoin has reclaimed, that's not the right screen. Bitcoin has reclaimed $30,000. That is right. Bitcoin's at $30,612, up 3.52%. Ethereum's at $1,817, up 3.17%. Let's see, BNB is at number 5, $292, up 4.48%. And number 9, we have Solana at $39.80, up 3.11%. And Dogecoin number 10 at 8 cents, up 0.66%. So it looks like across the board, about a 4 to 5% gain for most projects out there. So pretty cool to see. Some quick shout outs. What's going on? Daryl White, Finn, Miss Skay, Wendy Nichols, Bitcoin Man, Lip Hunt Game, Only the Realest Stays, Blockchain Bully, Richard Johnson. Good morning, warriors. What is going on? I know level 99 slacker, Litecoin being delisted. We will be talking about this. This is crazy. I don't think the bear market is going to kill it. If anything, the delist may make it stronger because of the reasons they're delisting it. But we'll talk about that in a moment. And of course, we got to talk about the biggest gainers. DeFi Yield Protocol is up 180%. Unified Protocol DAO is up 169%. And Pass is up 124%. Today must have been a slow day. You know, these are all under 200%. I don't know about these projects under 200%, man. It's kind of weird to me. All right. Let's get into the top story of the day. We're talking PayPal. PayPal enables transfer of digital currencies to external wallets, right? That's crazy, people. It only took forever in the day, but the move comes after nearly 2 years since PayPal enabled users to buy and sell crypto on this platform. That is right. A feature, I wouldn't say a feature, something that's inherent within the properties of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. PayPal, not just them, many Robinhood doesn't let you transfer out. Who else? It's a few places that you can't transfer out. Hell, buy too much Bitcoin on Coinbase and you can't transfer it out anymore, right? So there's a few places where you actually can't transfer your Bitcoin out. The most notable had been PayPal and Robinhood because those are the two cool new kids on the block. But again, there was no reason for them not to actually allow that transfer. The only reason I can think of is probably from a regulatory standpoint where they're like, if we allow the transfer of digital currencies from our platform, we have to go through a whole new AML KYC compliance thing, start a new department. That's the only reason I could kind of see this decision being delayed, but it is finally here. And yeah, I haven't tested it yet. So I'm not saying PayPal is a place to go get your Bitcoin and crypto, but if you actually can send and receive and it's seamless, then this could be another onboarding and offboarding place that you use after 2 years. Again, after rolling out the ability to buy and sell crypto, and I still haven't seen a lot of that on PayPal, but after rolling out that ability on this platform in October 2020, PayPal is finally allowing users the ability to natively transfer, send and receive digital assets between PayPal and other wallets and exchanges. As of Tuesday, this feature is available to select U.S. users, with the feature expanding to all eligible U.S. users in the coming weeks. The first batch of supported coins consists of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. So a couple of things. First and foremost, wow, you guys literally took 2 years for this. Capitulation at its finest. People are like, don't you love capitulation? No, we're not going to offer it all. We don't even like it. Okay, we'll offer it, but you can't move it. All right, you can do what you want with it because you're doing what you want with it anyway, because it's a peer-to-peer technology we can't control. We just don't understand it yet. This is amazing news. Second thing I'll say, which was a surprise, was goodness gracious. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I think it was, I don't want to say the wrong name. Possibly could have been Asher, but I can't remember who came on last Fuck Bitcoin Friday and was repping Bcash as well. I mean, this to me is what I meant when I said they have a community, because for Bcash to even make a headline as far as being like one of the main things that PayPal is going to allow, it is absolutely insane to me. It makes no sense, but whatever. Bcash is still alive and well, it looks like, and they have a community, and it looks like there's still some background handshakes going on, glad handling, if you know the story about Bcash. But it's here, people. Clearly, it's here to stay, at least for the short term. And these would be the 4 things that is offered on PayPal as of now. I mean, just in general, this is one of the things where it's just like, I don't know how they pick it. I'm assuming I want to say off stability or something. I don't know how they're picking these 4 tokens, right? Of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum is the biggest, but Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin kind of curveballs. To me, if you're going to add Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, add the entire market, like for the most part, add the top 100. Why? I don't get it. But again, for the people who are involved in the community, we'll see how this actually works in those Bitcoin Cashes and communities. So again, in addition, customers who transfer their crypto onto PayPal can spend it via checkout at millions of merchant terminals, blah, blah, blah. The rest essentially reads as a commercial for PayPal. So the big news of this is that PayPal now allows you to transfer crypto assets on and off of PayPal to select US users, and eventually it's going to be for everyone. This hopefully soon won't be a big news story because everyone would do it. Everyone who offers it should be able to do this, but they're not doing it because this is another way. Shout out to Trek, 2Ks, people, PFC Wells, he called it. He's been calling it for months now. The government and regulators everywhere are trying to control capital flight, as well as companies too. The last thing a Robinhood wants after they stop trading everything else is to let capital fly. So what's one way you can keep capital on board your platform? And that's to do things like, all right, well, we offer Bitcoin and crypto, but you can't take it off. How many people are going to buy $5, $10, $100 worth and forget about it and just leave it there and walk away? You get, I mean, on a small scale, you get 10,000 people to do that. You're paying someone's salary, people. So crazy to see. But again, crypto transfers to recipients outside of PayPal will incur the network fee based on their respective blockchains, but transfers between PayPal users would not incur such fees. Here's something we need to point out. How can users swapping or sending PayPal to other users not incur a fee? The reasons why is because it's not your crypto. PayPal actually has it and owns it, which is why they can say, hey, as long as you send it your Bitcoin or your Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum, whatever, and that's not a read on, that's probably why they're only doing 4. Because that's the 4 that they're actually keeping a value in themselves. That way, they don't have to do an actual transfer. They can just transfer through their own wallets to other people on the PayPal network. So essentially, they're saying, hey, you don't got to pay a mining and TX fee because you're not actually sending Bitcoin and crypto to nobody. We're doing it for you, essentially, or at least we're making it look like we're doing it, whatever the back end thing they have going on. But if you do it to someone outside of PayPal, they'll have to pay. And the reason why is because we no longer control it anymore. And this is the problem with crypto, all the different cryptocurrencies and all the blockchains you hear of, even though people don't specifically say which blockchain. Once you talk crypto and blockchain, now all of a sudden, whoever owns that project, whoever has the majority, usually has the most control. And it will work the exact same way. As long as you're using our blockchain or our crypto, you have these suite of services. From a technical point of view, it's like, how can you have these suite of services and be decentralized? It's kind of impossible to do. And we're seeing that here over at PayPal's. To protect users' privacy, the firm generates a new recipient address for each transaction to one's PayPal account. PayPal will also not charge fees for incoming transfers. Really quick, to protect users. Whenever you hear about protection in this industry, people, it should raise a red flag. They are not here to protect users' privacy, point blank, period. And I highly doubt that even though a new recipient address is created, is not stored and filed. And what I mean by that is when the government comes knocking, hey, PayPal, you had terrorism, criminal activity on your platform through the use of crypto wallets, Bitcoin, Bcash, or whatever. We want to know where it was sent and received. They're not going to say, well, we generated a new address. We don't know, Mr. Uncle Sam. We don't know what happened to him. Fuck no. Are you crazy? They about to come out with a CSV long as the world itself, that it's going to have all types of data points on there and what's going on and who account and what wallet. Like, so to protect users' privacy is what we're seeing on the UI, the UX, the user experience. Like, maybe it may seem like it's being protected, just like it may seem like you don't incur fees when you send Bitcoin to someone else on a PayPal network. But the reality is that it's happening because they're not actually using the technology. They're doing a lot of things internal. They're creating their own intranet. They're creating their own blockchain, essentially, or a blockchain of things, by essentially saying, well, we'll pick these parts out that we like, and then at PayPal on our network, this is the way it will work. Again, I'm not there. I haven't tested it, not for sure. But if you took 2 years to even add this feature, like, this is like par for course, people. Like, this is it wouldn't be abnormal to see them move like that. So again, this isn't all bad, doom and gloom. You just had to know who you're dealing with, right? Like, hey, you got to know who you're dealing with. Don't be mad because that's their personality. I'm not mad at PayPal. I'm happy to know who I'm dealing with. And what I say, the positive thing is PayPal is accepted everywhere. A lot of people use it, even though their fees are ridiculous. Like, people, their fees are ridiculous. But regardless, if you're on PayPal, you know someone who use it, this is a base hit. This is a base hit to more people using Bitcoin full time. So I'm happy with the story, and it's good to see. Will PayPal be the future of crypto and X, Y, and Z? No, I think PayPal will become obsolete once people get onto the Bitcoin train, things like that. But PayPal charges you to receive money. So I'm just going to give you a regular how much I get hit from PayPal. If someone in business sends me money, I think that's about 4%, right? 3.5 to 4.5% on PayPal. So as soon as I receive the money out of whatever amount of dollars, 4.5% of that is automatically gone as soon as I get it. And then to transfer it to my bank, they're taking another essentially like 3% or 4% or something like that. Or it says not to see like $15 or something. But people, that is literally 7% at a minimum on like your capital transactions through PayPal. 7%. That is crazy. So every $100 you had, give me $7. It doesn't seem like a lot until you're talking thousands of dollars. Then all of a sudden, that's what's 7% of $100,000? Are you trying to give that away? You trying to give away $7,000 for a transaction that you know can be done at least 80% cheaper using Bitcoin? It's crazy. So I'm happy to see that they have these, because I think the more people that come on and use PayPal and they start noticing these different fees that they're getting hit with, 5% here or 3% here or whatever. Same with the bank. Bank still charges a $35 overdraft. People, that's crazy. Why would you be like, if you're broke, you shouldn't even store your money in the bank. Like, why would you risk being hit with $35 when you can literally keep $1 in a Bitcoin wallet on Cash and not get any type of fee? So I think that's the future. I'm happy to see it's coming as well. Let me go ahead and check out these comments, see what we have going on. What's going on? Resource for limit. Been using PayPal for a minute. PayPal, you owe me like 3 Bitcoin. Again, I would love to know why you chose to use PayPal for Bitcoin, because again, they're just now after 2 years allowing you to transfer it off. So to me, to trust them, like to have trust your crypto and Bitcoin on PayPal before today is a scary thing. People, you all are you playing, you're gambling, you're doing some Terra gambling right now. I'm telling you right now, you're doing some Terra bowl gambling right now. And you think it won't happen, but it's going to take a Robinhood or a PayPal or some notable platform to say, oh yeah, the Bitcoin gone. Well, I mean, actually it just happened with the IRA Financial and Gemini. The Bitcoin gone. IRA's pointing fingers at Gemini. Gemini's pointing fingers right back. Don't matter who's pointing what. The Bitcoin is gone. So, I mean, if you think PayPal's doing a better job than Gemini, you guys are crazy on that one. Let's see. Satoshi Slim, where's the true price of crypto assets? Since every DEX and CDEX has their own algo, where's the true price? And can Bitcoin aggregate it in a trustworthy way if someone builds it? So again, crypto and Bitcoin is different, right? If you're saying the true price of Bitcoin, I've said it many times for Bitcoins, they said 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Of crypto assets, it depends on what they're doing, right? They all have different utilities. I mean, if you're talking about a platform that only does smart contracts and does them well, and it's seamless and the transaction fees are low, then that's this value right there. I think that's very important. They don't need to do anything additional to build on it. We could just use that smart contract platform for forever until the next big thing happens. So it's tough to say only because there's over 18,000 of them. It depends on the utility, right? Let's see. And Tony, okay, yep, Bitcoin Pay servers. That's right. Of course, if you are on the Discord, or if you're on the Discord, you're a member, you do have access to the Bitcoin Pay server that Alec runs for us. So let us know about that. We love running that because there's no fees, people. There's a transaction fee. So for those who don't understand what a Bitcoin Pay server is, we talk about it in the masterclass. But long story short, there's a Stripe, PayPal, whatever bank you have, there's always a fee to transfer money. Again, usually 3.5 to 4.5%. With a Bitcoin Pay server, that's a transaction mining fee, which is like 18 cent, people, 30 cent, whatever. That's all you pay. And you can do the exact same transaction. So this is what I mean by, are you going to pay for Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora and all that, which is cool, but if you're going to pay, you'll be paying a monthly. Or are you going to use the technology, Napster and LimeWire, Bitcoin Pay server, and just say, oh, I don't need Stripe or PayPal. I can just do this myself. So it's up to you. Let's see what else they say. Ross Shu said they're going to sell it as the safest way to send crypto. Watch those red flags. I can see them trying to take that narrative. Oh my goodness, people! One of these companies hire me for PR. Like, oh, you wouldn't know what to believe no more. Listen, you would literally think whatever company I went to was Satoshi Nakamoto themselves. Like, what? If you know what you're doing, you can definitely shape the narrative. Adrian said mainstream adoption. We see how long it's taking for mainstream adoption to marijuana. Now that part I agree with, and things like that is what actually kind of woke me up to like, this is going to be a long, slow road. It's not going to just happen overnight. But the difference is that cannabis, is something that you consume. So to some people, whether recreational or not, or whether it's considered a drug or not, whatever it is, it's a consumable. Whereas Bitcoin itself is a technology. So again, that's like that adoption may change, that cycle and curve may change because you're talking about something that you're actually putting into your body and the health, benefits or consequences of that versus you saying, like I always compare it to, we're just using a calculator. So we'll see. We will see. Saber Saves, I saw that as well. Edge Wallet is rolling out their first debit card. Yep. I saw that. I didn't really report on it because, again, I expect everyone to roll out a card, period. Like every wallet provider will have onboarding and offboarding. And once you get, and this is the reason why, really quick, like the licenses you need is basically like if you graduate from college or high school, whatever, you graduate with a certain degree, whatever, you can now do these list of jobs, right? So you're not going to get if you get a law degree, you can practice many different types of law. Now you'll eventually specialize, but you're able to practice many different types of law. It's the same thing with these banking licenses. So it's like, all right, now you have a banking license or money transmitter license or whatever license. You're not going to just say, well, I'm only going to do this one thing under the license. No. I mean, if you're onboarding and offboarding capital, you have a compliance department built up, AML, KYC, features, all this other stuff, then why would you stop there? At that point, it's just about shaking the hand with Visa or MasterCard and getting the rest of the deal going. I think we'll see that across the entire space because, again, once you have the license, it's literally you're 4 people and 8 months away of support from getting a MasterCard or a Visa card or whatever. So shout out to Edge. It's pretty cool to see. But yeah, I think that's going to happen across the landscape as well. I think we'll see a lot of that. Andrew Wellness, thank you for the tip. Greatly appreciate the content. Much respect to you as well. Definitely thank you for that tip as well. Bitcoin Sean, what are my thoughts on quantum computing coming? It said that it would threaten the blockchain. So people, here's the thing, where there's quantum computing or any type of futuristic threat from a technical point of view to Bitcoin and Bitcoin's blockchain in general, whatever. Everyone keeps talking about quantum computing and the new technical, like the future and all this other stuff. Like good people are going to stop building. I don't think that's going to be the case. And what I mean by that is true. Maybe quantum computing does come one day, but you're not telling me as quantum computing is getting bigger. And for those who don't know what that is, it's basically just like a supercomputer. They say, what happens if a supercomputer comes around that's faster than every other computer we've ever saw? It can solve Bitcoin transactions like snap of a finger, then it will literally jack up the network and someone can do an attack or so on and so forth, right? But that's under the assumption as a supercomputer comes, no one's going to use it to build out more on the blockchain, or no one's going to use it to do good things. So I disagree with that sentiment that new technologies or future technologies will make these obsolete. I think we'll continue to be like, you got to remember who's working on the Bitcoin project, the smartest developers on the planet. So if they see a new tech, they're going to say, oh, let's implement this into what we're doing as well. So I don't think that's any issue. I think it's a non-starter. All right, what else is going on? Binance fires back at Reuters, money laundering allegations. Bang, bang, shots fired. Binance wrote that the allegations made by the media outlet are created by interested parties to mislead the general public. That is right. Crypto exchange Binance published a lengthy response to an article published by Reuters that claims that the exchange has been a hub for hackers, fraudsters, and drug traffickers, saying that there is at least $2.35 billion in illicit funds laundered within the exchange. In a blog post, Binance addressed the issue and noted that the article's allegations are not only untrue, but are also attempts by certain interested parties to mislead the general public by spreading disinformation. Binance wrote, "We highly suggest you ignore those authors and pundits who cherry pick data, rely on conveniently unverifiable leaks from regulators, and feed into the cult of crypto paranoia for fame or financial gain. Instead, just look at the facts." So one thing I will say, this has been debunked many times. The amount of illicit transactions or crime in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is like less than 2%. So this has been debunked, so on and so forth. Now, I might change this year, whatever, who knows? Second thing, I will say that, yes, there's definitely illicit activity happening on platforms and exchanges like Binance, Bybit, once Poloniex, sometimes and once Bittrex. What Bittrex used to have the stupidest pumps and dumps coming off Telegram for a good 4 or 5 months straight. It's like, stop it. Who else? Coinbase, of course, with the whole Ripple and Bcash fiasco where they essentially did insider trading. Like people, I can go on and on. There isn't an exchange for the most part that you can say is nothing shady. I'll actually give Gemini more credit than most of them, that they might be doing more things on the up and up than the rest, at least when it comes to community. But yeah, and the reason why I mentioned those, like the Binances, the Bybits, and the Poloniex at the time, the Bitrexes, you used to be able to log on and didn't really need anything but an email, right? Like you log on with the email, you know, you can have an account with 30K in there, like you rolling, like it's happening. So those are the platforms that you can, not only can you have an account with 30+K in there, you can withdraw it, even more important, right? Like all in one time type of deal. So those type of exchanges, yes, that is where people are flooding. So VPN on, burn email going, and a wallet I just created I'm going to destroy when I'm finished. Yes, those are the places people go. However, I do like Binance's, not only their pushback. So shout out to Binance for pushing back. You see this in the traditional world where companies get, called out by the media, or wherever, and they don't usually say anything back, or they make a public, polite statement. No, Binance is showing its teeth. Like, hell no. If y'all gonna call some people out, call some people out. The exchange pointed out that traditional finance platforms are more tainted with illicit funds than crypto, which is transparent in nature. Moreover, the exchange cited statistics from the United Nations that 2 to 5% of fiat money is associated with illicit activities. Lastly, in the blog post, Binance published its email correspondence with Reuters that included Binance's complete responses to Reuters' inquiries before it published an article that criticized Binance. I mean, this is, and that, again, shout out to Binance. And that's what I love about crypto. The traditional sector is so used to blackmail, essentially, to white mail, red mail. It ain't black, call it what you want. But they're so used to carrot and the stick. Like, oh, if you want this, you're going to do that, or this, like, I love our crypto space, the Bitcoin space. I love the industry because everyone and most companies here, no matter how broke or how wealthy they are, they're going to shoot straight. I am glad Binance did that. They're like, you know what? I'm not going to go back and forth. We're going to say our piece and we're going to release the entire email thread and you all read and decide for yourself. I'm actually with Binance on this. Reuters, super irresponsible. I've mentioned this about a couple of other YouTubers out there who call out all the, like, it's good that you call out scam artists and all this other stuff, but also go after the real problem. Don't go after Binance for having $2 billion in possible illicit funds when literally JP Morgan Chase had a boat with a cocaine shipment of over $1 billion on it. Like, that was in 2020, wasn't like 2019. Like, literally a bank who owned a merchant ship had over $1 billion of cocaine in it at one time. And you're talking about $2.35 billion of possible illicit funds on one exchange that's located in another country that the entire planet uses. That's not a big number, even if it's true. The entire planet's using them. Is the entire planet using a ship to throw cocaine on it? Like, what are we talking about? Like Wells Fargo, talk about them again. Bear Stearns from back in the day. Like, you could literally go on and on. I'm not going to do it. We do it every day. But I am with Binance on this one. Way to push back. They're like, hey, if you're going to call somebody out, call out yourselves. Like, look in the mirror really quick. So shout out to Binance for standing strong on it. And again, I'm not saying this is false, alleged. But if it is true, $2.35 billion, you got to imagine a couple of those transactions are probably off some $170 million exploit or scam or something, right? Let's not forget how big of the hits are in these markets. People are being getting hit for 20 million here. Projects get hit for 50 million there, so on and so forth. So you factor that in and then factor in that this is a global platform. That is not terrible. Let's actually do the numbers and say, how much capital value have you had transacted on your platform, and then find the illicit funds. So let's just say the $2.35 billion is true. What would you assume, people? At least, I say on a low end, fair number, at least what, 10 to $15 billion of transactions on a low end? You're talking about 2.35. So it's very small percentage of that in my estimation. All right, crypto bank Custodia sues the Fed over 19-month delay on account approval. Again, shout out, hold on. I know it's not working properly, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Hey, long round of applause for the crypto industry. I mean, I say it all the time, but let's say it one more time, actually, because I don't want to forget. We're not gonna take it. We're not going to take it, people. I mean, Binance isn't going to take it, and neither is crypto bank Custodia. This, of course, I don't know. I'm on the outside, but I can only imagine how true this story is because I have experienced something similar. Crypto bank Custodia sues the Fed over 19-month delay on account approval. We said this back in 2017 when it came to Bitcoin ETFs. We talked to a very high-powered lawyer who knows people in the SEC, and they're like, they're not even looking at the ETF submissions. They're like, they're literally throwing them out without looking at them, which to me should be a crime within itself because you work for the public. But Custodia wants to compel the Federal Reserve Board and its Kansas City branch to approve its application for a Fed master account within 30 days. That's right. Wyoming-based digital asset bank Custodia is suing the Federal Reserve Board of Governors and the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, claiming an unlawful delay in processing an application for its master account. Custodia, formerly known as Avanti, was one of the first special purpose depository institutions, SPDIs, known also as a blockchain bank made under a Wyoming regulatory framework. The bank was founded by Caitlin Long, an early advocate of Bitcoin, who established the institution in 2020 to provide accounts for crypto companies and serve as a bridge for them to the US dollar payment system. Y'all mess with the wrong one, and this is what I mean by the lines are being split. It's one thing to pick on retail investors. It's one thing to pick on us small YouTubers and all blah, blah, blah. But what happens when there's someone else sitting in the same room, you, one of your peers, another congressional, a Congress member, another senator, another governor, right? Another mayor sitting across from me like, no, I actually fully disagree. I think we want to move forward. These are the things that's going to happen. You're not playing with the old school no more or excuse me, I would say the new old school of us in crypto who's like, I don't know how to get around the SEC not accepting this application. I don't know how to get around of this bank not giving me an account or pressing me for having an account and buying Bitcoin. But you get people from those levels, oh, they know how to get around it. And one of those ways is literally just to sue the bank. And that is what Caitlin Long is doing. She's like, you know what? Y'all want to play this game? I'm going after the entire bank. Custodia submitted an application for a Federal Reserve master account 19 months ago in October of 2020. The account would allow Custodia to access the Federal Reserve payment system without using a third-party bank. Again, this is why crypto and Bitcoin is so important. I get it all the time. I was speaking to an institution the other day. This guy literally told me, and I hope he's listening, even though I know he's not. This guy literally said, I just sent $50,000 to Brazil yesterday using my bank. I didn't have any problems. Why do we need Bitcoin? I'm like, the fact that you have $50,000 to send to someone in Brazil off a whim, bro, this is like this isn't even made for you. Like, that's why you don't understand it. But my point is, this like directly lays it out. Custodia is trying to get a bank account to do things with the US dollar. And the people who control the banks are a private company, and they're essentially stalling them out. The same thing we talked about when it came to the mafia back in the day when they had the trucks and everything. If you wanted to slow down a trucking operation, you just call some regulators to make sure they check every license, every check and balance, like every little detail as a truck pulls in and pulls out. Eventually that would delay all the trucks. And then you're, by days, weeks, so on and so forth, you'll lose money and then you'll go out of business. Like, this is the same thing. A private company working with the government is saying, yeah, we're going to make you wait 19 plus months before we even give you an answer. And all the while, good luck to your business. I am glad they're striking back. Again, Nathan Miller, a spokesperson for Custodia Bank, told Cointelegraph, through this lawsuit, Custodia seeks to ensure that its Federal Reserve master account application receives the fair dealing and due process guaranteed to it by both federal statute and the U.S. Constitution. Custodia has satisfied every rule applicable to it and has gone beyond by applying to become a Fed member bank. People, again, do you understand how crazy this is? This is Caitlin Long, right? Like, this is one of them. This is one of the Feds, somebody who's been on there, done the right thing, played by the government rules, so on and so forth, representing Wyoming, of course, started a company. She's doing so many things the right way, right? Everybody wants regulation. Everybody wants to do good, bootlick, and follow the government. Cool. She did and does all of that. She even went further to say, we applied to become a Fed member bank. What does that mean? We applied to become a part of your private network just to be friendly. And they still got stalled out 19 months. You and I don't stand a chance alone against these people. Like, this is why self-regulation is so important, that we have these communities and these groups in space, because alone, you don't stand a chance. If Caitlin Long can't get it done with a private bank out of Kansas or Wyoming or something, are you kidding me? Like, no offense though, like the people there, but outside of business, I probably would ever go. So Kansas, I heard the barbecue is amazing, though, to be fair. And it's great communities all throughout Kansas. But Wyoming, yeah, outside of taxes and governmental and business stuff, I probably wouldn't go. So, like, if they can't get it done there, what makes you think we can get it done in Los Angeles? We can get it done in New York City? Like, it ain't happening, at least not overnight, people. This is crazy. But again, this suit claims the Federal Reserve violated a United States code, which outlines a 1-year deadline. You get 1 year, 12-month deadline for processing the application. It says that it even states on the master account application that a decision takes 5 to 7 business days. Oh, grimy at its finest. It even says on the application, and we'll get back to you in a week or in 2 years. The Fed's Kansas City Bank was ready to approve the account before the Federal Reserve Board asserted control over the process in spring of 2021, which derailed the application. Custodia says, this is what I think probably happened. The fact that they found Kansas City as a bank means they had to go search for a Federal Reserve Bank that would accept it. Of course, we know St. Louis seems to be somewhat gray on the fence as far as crypto, but it looks like Kansas was ready to move forward. And then I can kind of understand what happened. A bigger Federal Reserve Bank gave them a tap on the shoulder, because the way it works is like Kansas, if they approve it, they still have to submit it up. So Kansas probably said, cool, we can do this. Yeah, give it to us. They submitted it up. The people at the next level who actually know the people in the White House, hey, Biden, you know this? No? All right, bet. Nah. 19 months later, here we are. It's been derailed, as they say, because Custodia states that the black box bureaucratic process meant it had exhausted all options short of litigation, and it sought to compel the Federal Reserve and its Kansas City Bank to approve its master account within 30 days. So here's the real messed up part about all this. And they say this in Hollywood. They like, you can either work or you can sue, but you can't do both. I think that's probably why Chris Rock didn't sue Will Smith. I think Jim Carrey said he should have sued him for $200 million. I think that was a fair number as well. World stage, global stage, you'll be doing this next 20, 30 years of your life. That's a fair number. But I say that to say, I think this is working very similar. Like, so she got the tap on the shoulder. She's trying to do everything she can, and still there is no headway. And again, this is Kansas City Bank working with Custodia as they try to get this master account or master key. And my point is, I don't think she's going to get it because, as they even said, we did everything short of litigation, which is why we're going that way. But now you sued one of the club members. Like, you're literally suing one of the Federal Reserve banks. So if they don't like you now, how do you think they're going to like you? So even if you get approved for this after this lawsuit, I mean, I just don't see them playing fair. Like, it's the Federal Reserve. They got a slush fund for lawsuits for the next 50 to 100 years, people. They could start a war and we could find out about it, and they could literally say, well, we'll pay the country back the debt on the war or whatever. Like, they have a slush fund. So my point is, now that they're going through litigation, even if it works, I think this might be dead. I think this bank, Custodia, it might be dead in the water. I mean, they just stalled her out for 19 months. And you're talking about litigation with the Federal Reserve. I mean, they can hold you up in litigation another 19 months. So you're talking essentially, 38 months before you even make any headway. Like, everybody's going to pass you another 19 months. So we'll see what happens. But I think they unfortunately made a shot themselves in the foot. And I bring that up to say, that's what you get. Stop trying to do it with the regulators and the right way in the law. Like, no, it's a new technology. We're all humans. We're all equal. Some humans chose to use the technology and see the benefits. Some are so angry and upset that the technology touched them when they were children 30 or 40 years ago. They don't know how to act. But regardless, the tech is here. If you decide, like Caitlin Long and some of these other professionals that come from different professions and want to mitigate risks and losses and say, hey, we're going to do this the right way, compliance, Federal Reserve, government, then fine, that's cool. But this 19-month holdup is what you're going to continue to see. Why haven't we had a Bitcoin ETF yet? I'll wait. So if you want to play by these rules, don't get upset and then go to litigation and all that now, because it's like, no, this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to deal with the Federal Reserve, something that Bitcoin is trying to get away from. You wanted to go back to them. 19 months later, there you are. But hey, shout out to Caitlin Long and those folks over there, at least for fighting a good fight.
Fight!
and trying to win and put some pressure on the Federal Reserve. But literally, this is like what you get. This is why we're trying to move away from them, because they don't want us there, nor do they like us there. When I say us, they don't like people who have control of their own value and capital around at all, because they understand that there's no need for them. Let's see. Cryptonomics said, we got way too many premieres popping up. Yeah, I mean, this is our flagship show, but we definitely gonna have some more. And again, Cryptonomics, you're more than welcome to come create on the channel as well, if you have a message also. Let's see. What's going on, Resourceful Lemon? Sultan Shakir said, Kansas is America's best kept secret. You really have no idea. Like I said, I'm gonna check it out. I'll be fair about Kansas. That's why I did take that back. When I thought about Kansas, I was like, I have heard about the barbecue and communities in Kansas are really good. So I did take that back. To Wyoming, though, I can't take that one back. My bad. Listen, outside taxes and business, I just don't see it happening. But Kansas, I will take that one back. Even though Kansas, like, it would have to be, I need to plan a tour date trip type of there, because I still wouldn't randomly go there, but I will want to go there. If that makes sense. Let's see. Binance has its own bank. We don't want stupid banks who loot every day, said Rowdy Rathers. Let's see what else we have. Level 99 Slacker did Binance invest $200 million into Forbes after suing it. Reuters next. Exactly. They should invest that money in Reuters. That might actually be the play from Reuters and other news companies like that. They're like, hey, Binance just gave Forbes $200 million. We ain't getting nothing. Hey, write that feature piece. Write that feature piece. Write that feature piece and see if they get some money next year. Movado said, if you know who owns Reuters, right, then you'll know why they put this out. That is very true. Reuters is in the mix as well. What else do we have? Movado said, quantum computing is already on deck. Check out the way they got some scary stuff going on, man. Let's see. Jake Fever said, cannabis will never be legal everywhere because of contact high. You can't infringe on freedoms of others, but it'll be legal home use one day. Cannabis might not be legal one day because the pharmaceutical companies make so much. I'll just say that more than anything. All right, last story of the day. I saw a couple people just asking about it. We'll go into it. Major South Korean crypto exchanges delist Litecoin. Oh, what happened?
And it's gone.
What happened to Litecoin? Crypto regulations in South Korea require exchanges to enforce strict KYC and AML guidelines, and major crypto exchanges have delisted privacy coins in the past as well. Well, it looks like major cryptocurrency exchanges in South Korea delisted Litecoin weeks after flagging its privacy-focused Mimblewimble upgrade. I didn't even realize it upgraded to Mimblewimble. I know it's been in the talks for a while, but shout out to Litecoin. In a public announcement on Wednesday, Upbit cited the act on the reporting and use of specific financial transaction information, goodness gracious, which prohibits anonymous transactions as a key reason for ending the support for Litecoin. So that's pretty much it. It came out this Mimblewimble upgrade, South Korea, and soon to probably be United States and everybody else who's allied with this. We'll essentially have this policy that you can do all tokens and coins we can track. If we can't track it outside of Bitcoin, only because Bitcoin is just here to stay, then no, we're going to make it illegal. So you get to think about things like Monero. That's why what makes them so popular. Zcash, you got now Litecoin with this Mimblewimble upgrade. I wonder what they're going to do, because I guess they haven't heard the word on the street, but I hope you all know that Bitcoin is working on privacy features. The developers on the Bitcoin network are working on privacy features. As Andreas Antonopoulos said, it should have been inherent. If that was the one flaw of Bitcoin, it wasn't inherent. It's becoming a feature. It shouldn't have been a feature. It should have been automatic. But once this is enabled, once Bitcoin does upgrade, whether it's in 2 or 3, 4 years, and it has like total privacy anonymous features to it, like, are you going to say, well, Bitcoin can't be on exchanges anymore too? I don't know. But this is crazy to see, because it is showing you the power of these anonymous coins, anonymous protocols. And why would you delist? I mean, this is the worst part about it. Like, somebody like me who's in the space who didn't even realize they had to upgrade, you're delisting it. Now I know that Litecoin is another privacy coin. You know what I mean? I think you probably told more people that Litecoin is a privacy coin now by delisting it than if you didn't even do anything with it. So again, we decided to terminate the transaction support for Litecoin. It was determined that the optional function that does not expose transaction information included in this network upgrade corresponds to an anonymous transmission technology under the Specific Financial Information Act. Again, do you really think they figured it out for Monero, Zcash, and Litecoin, but they won't figure it out for Bitcoin? Oh, they're going to figure it out. It's just about safely implementing it so it won't jack up the entire network if something goes wrong. But as soon as that happens, and we do get the feature, the optional feature to make Bitcoin private, anonymous, again, it'll be very interesting to see how these governments and exchanges move forward with Bitcoin, as they kind of already, Bitcoin as it is right now, if you notice, they've separated it. We're talking crypto now. But I'm telling you, as soon as that privacy feature comes to Bitcoin, it will be back in the news, and they're going to try to kill it. But again, those 5 major South Korean exchanges are Upbit, BitHum, Coin1, Corebit, and GoPax. Essentially, all the major ones that are playing by South Korean rules. It sucks to see, but I'm happy to see it, because we understand where they're going and what scares them. And I think, again, as soon as Bitcoin has it, we'll see another big shakeup in the market. All right. Other than that, that is the show for today. And woo-wee, let me tell you, folks, the likes are lacking. Let's make sure we get those likes up before tomorrow, or I'm definitely going to wake up and go back to sleep. But I'm sure you all will, because you do a great job on it. Let me look at these last couple of comments and we'll call it a day. Charlie Lee said they can turn off the Mimblewimble part for government purposes. Well, yeah, there's an optional feature, so you can, but I don't think people want it turned off. They might do it for the exchanges, right? For the government exchanges, they want it to list, but for people actually who want to use it, the technology, they're going to be like, no, I definitely want that option available, bro. Like, why would you make it and turn it off? Let's see. Sultan said a tour won't do it. Kansas is the main hub of all of America's technology, defense, and other things. Oh my God. All right. I'm about to pull up then. I'm about to pull up for a week or two. I'll tell you what, first 10 minutes, that barbecue ain't smacking, I'm gone. All right. Let's see. What else we have? Cryptonomics. We, again, feel free. Exactly. Jump Out Girls. Shout out to Jump Out Girls. Their show premieres today. Make sure you're on the lookout. Also, I'm about to get off, because in 5 minutes, Assets and Arbitrage, which is family ventures, premiere. So make sure you check that out. But Jump Out Girls said Cryptonomics, you can have a show called Battle of the Battles, you versus RM. So yeah, I mean, again, that's what we said. If you want to create crypto content, feel free. Bottom line, people, here's a breaking one too. This is where we're headed. It won't just be our channel. It will be CNBC. It'll be Fox Business and everyone else around the planet. There will eventually, it was over 18,000 projects right now, people. After the great boom and bust once we lose a bunch of them, and then the new ones come, like the Googles and everything's being rebuilt, you better believe we're going to be like on a 24/7 market. This is a 24/7 market. We will get to a 24/7 news cycle for this market. It's going to happen. There's too many projects that people are involved in. There's too many capital going to so many different projects that you can't not have it. It's just so much content. So we're definitely gonna be some of the first, if not the first, to get to that 24/7 crypto news cycle. So if you have news, if you have something you want to offer, not saying that your take is going to be right, ours is going to be wrong or whatever, but it's another take on different projects, feel free to hit me up. We'll get you on the show. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share. If you haven't already, check out the masterclass, do that deep dive, and then stay tuned. Today, we got the Simon Family Ventures coming with assets and arbitrage here in 5 minutes. 2 jump out girls later on this afternoon, and a couple more. So be